Hello Jess, just watching your video here. Looks like a nice horse you have here, off the track thoroughbred by the looks of things. You know, the first thing I'd say is if this is your warm-up trot, I would personally see if you could get the horse stretching its neck a little bit rounder and a little bit deeper. So some other experts would say that would put the horse on the forehand, but I personally think if you can just get the base of their neck to drop down and stretch a little bit in the warm-up, it will sort of loosen the horse's back and get a little bit more swing in its gait. And then once you get it nice and soft down there, and you create a little bit of cadence, then you can bring the horse up. But then you have other experts say that you get the horse too on the forehand and whatnot. But for me anyway, I think the most important thing is that you create a little bit of softness and steadiness, and then eventually you can bring the horse more uphill. Good transition. So for me, you got a good riding position. One thing, it's only a subtle thing, but if you could think about sitting just a little bit quieter on the horse's back, so that when you're posting in the trot, it's just a softer touch with your seat to the saddle. It's just a slightly lighter touch with your seat, instead of like springing up really, really tall and landing heavy. We just want to sort of basically post half the height and just lightly touch the saddle. And eventually, obviously, we've got to try and get him just a little bit more supple through the pole. For me, the horse actually has got good movement. So we've got to see if we can get him just a little bit softer to the inside. So that these leg yields, I hope you're going to do another leg yield here, is a good sort of softening exercise for the horse. And the horse has just got to gently, I think his name's Benny, he's got to learn to sort of step under and across a little bit more. And I think the more comfortable you get with him going sideways, the softer he'll become. Good, and same in the walk a little bit. If you could just slow it down just a touch, I think you'd actually get bigger, more open steps. So just trying to look for bigger, longer, slower steps. And it's hard, you know, I haven't ridden the horse or seen it in real. Sometimes some of these thoroughbreds you've actually got to push quite forward to get them moving, and some of them you've actually got to slow down a bit and encourage to take bigger steps. It's got a nice canter. And again, another small thing with your riding position is if we look at your seat here, every stride you just seem to pop out of the saddle a little bit. And if there's a way of gently melting into the saddle, so if you look at your bum here, every stride it just comes out of contact with the saddle, and we want to find a way where you're sort of rocking and rolling along with the motion of his back. Good news is I think your horse is a nice horse. I love a horse with a little bit of white in his nose. He's got a good walk, good trot, good canter. And obviously he's round, but we've got to get him a little rounder for training. And then we've got to get him just a little bit more supple in the connection. He sort of fights your hand. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, I'm sure. And thoroughbreds, remember, he's been born and bred and designed to run fast and go in a straight line. So we really got to gently retrain him Again, I think leg yields, especially in trot, would help him a lot. And you as a rider just staying a little bit softer and a little bit quieter with your position. This is getting nicer. You're going to take your time. Bloody, that was a 10 of a halt, mate. You got to try and get that halt at the shows. Hate that when you get a real good one at home, because usually you get crap ones at the shows, and you know he can do it. It's a good exercise, actually. I mean, I find it really, really hard to jump a pole 9 feet in front of a jump, but it's good for the horses because it makes them pounce off the floor and it gives them a good shape. So if you're good at it, it's a great exercise. You got it good there. Good. They're good exercises. I've got very similar jumping exercises, or they use the same style. And it just creates correctness. Good. And don't worry about having these rails down. Like I'd almost even ride him just a little bit softer with your hand. Like, don't try and make him jump it clear. If anything, just let go and soften the rein as you get to the fence. To me, sometimes you're helping him jump the fence a little bit too much with your hands, like you're lifting him off the ground. And we want to almost soften the hand. Just as he's taking off, we're going to loosen the hand. Good. He jumps that oxer well. So for me, the system you're using here with the jump training with the placing poles is really, really good. It's very hard to... You're doing a good job riding it, because I find it really hard to see a distance to them. And these little rubs you're getting here, they're not a bad thing. But you got to make sure that you're not pulling him off the deck. Softly getting it. For me, every now and then, like in your training here, you almost got too many placing poles probably. Like every fence that we see has got a placing pole, and I got to say, you're not having that much luck getting accurate jumps to them. And with that many placing poles, I don't think I'd have any more luck than you. So with your show jump training, maybe just have 1 or 2 fences with the placing pole, and then all the other fences just normal jumps. Where it looks like we're cross-country schooling. Good. For me, with your position, you could be a little bit lighter in the saddle here. Just taking your body weight off his back a little bit more. You could almost go a little bit more 2-point. Remember, with the show jumping, cross country and dressage, we've got to ride our horses in a different position and a different way. And I think for the cross country, we could even be even lighter, because he'll give you a better canter stride. I think if you can get your weight off his back a bit more. Good thing, mate, is you got good balance, and you got a good eye, and that's why I wonder with the show jumping. Just thinking back to that show jumping training, is it's a little bit too complicated having so many rails on the ground, and just jumping them nice and out of rhythm like you are here is probably the way to go. I'll tell you, the horse looks like he's enjoying himself. His ears are pricked. He's great, got a good disposition. And see, even there, I think you could be lighter on him. Whoa, get up there, fella. Good, you could be a little bit sharper on him there. So, I mean, remember these horses, especially when you're schooling, they got to understand that they got to go. So if he pulls up like that, I think you could give him a little bit more stick and let him know he's in trouble a bit more, rather than just having a turnaround. Because he should, you've given him a good warm-up and jumped a lot of jumps, and he's seen a bit. He should know what he's in for here. With the water, I'm not sure if we missed it on the video, but I'd always walk in and out of the water a few times just to give them a good sort of look at what they're in for. Looks deep there. It's not the end of the world if it's a little bit deep, but looks cold. This must be in January or February or something. It's cool that they can do this on all weather footing. So I like this position a little bit more. You're just a little bit more off his back and opening him up a bit. And this guy can gallop. So for me, I just would, like you to have more clear daylight between your bum and the saddle. And it'll just make it a little bit easier for him just to be cruising and coasting along. One thing you don't have to worry about this horse, he's got plenty of speed and a great gallop. So he gets an A+ for this. Anyway, thank you so much for helping out with this wonderful charity, and good luck with your horse, and whistle out to me if you see me at any of the shows. Cheers.